Stop. Listen carefully. Do not brush this away. Pause what you are doing right now and give me your attention. This is not one of those moments you can come back to later. This is not something meant to be half-heard while your mind drifts somewhere else. I am speaking now because now matters. Timing matters. Your awareness in this very moment matters more than you know. I am not speaking to the crowd. I am speaking to you. I am not raising my voice to everyone at once. I am leaning close to your heart and calling your name. You felt it when you read these words. Something in you paused. Something in you knew this was different. That is because this moment is not casual, and what I am saying is not optional. It is gentle, but it is urgent. It is calm, but it carries weight. I need you present with me right now. You are used to noise. You are used to messages that compete for your attention and disappear as quickly as they arrive. You are used to being pulled in many directions at once, to listening without really hearing. But this is not like that. This is not another voice asking for a piece of you. This is my voice asking you to stop and be still because something important is near, and your attention right now protects you. I know you feel the urge to skim, to move on, to tell yourself you will focus later. That urge is not from me. When something truly matters, there is always resistance that tries to rush past it. I am asking you to slow down on purpose, to breathe, to remain here with me for these moments. Heaven does not shout for attention the way the world does. Heaven interrupts quietly, firmly, with love. This is a divine interruption. I stepped into your flow not to confuse you, not to frighten you, but to steady you. I am not here to overwhelm your heart. I am here to anchor it. Something important is coming, and before it arrives, I want you grounded, not distracted, prepared, not hurried, aware, not drifting. You may wonder why I speak with urgency, why I say listen carefully. It is because many of the most important things in life arrive softly. They do not announce themselves with noise. They come quietly, and those who are distracted miss them. I do not want you to miss what is near. I do not want you looking back later, wishing you had paid attention when I called your name. Right now is not about fear. It is about focus. It is about discernment. It is about trusting the gentle nudge that told you to stop here instead of moving on. You are not reading these words by chance. You are here because I wanted your attention, not tomorrow, not later, but now. I am not distant as I speak to you. I am close. I am calm. I am steady. My authority does not come from loudness, and my care does not come from weakness. They exist together. I can ask you to stop because I love you. I can speak with weight because I am watching over you. When I say something is important, it is because I see the full picture while you only see a part. You do not need to understand everything yet. Understanding will come. What matters first is listening, staying, letting your heart quiet enough to hear what I am saying beneath the words. There is protection in obedience. There is safety in obedience. There is peace in trusting that I speak when it is necessary. I know your life is full. I know your days move quickly. I know it feels inconvenient to stop in the middle of everything. But there are moments when stopping is the most important thing you can do. There are times when moving less protects you more. This is one of those times. Not because danger is shouting, but because wisdom is whispering. I am not asking you to cancel everything, to panic, or to assume the worst. I am asking you to listen carefully, to respect the weight of this moment, to recognize that when I interrupt your usual rhythm, it is for a reason. I do not waste your attention. I do not call you without purpose. I do not speak unless there is something you need to hear. You may feel a mix of emotions right now. Curiosity, concern, calm, or even uncertainty. That is normal when something important approaches. But do not let your mind race ahead. Stay here. Let my presence steady you. Let my voice be the one you tune into above the others for these moments. I am not speaking to you because you did something wrong. I am speaking because I care. I am speaking because you matter. I am speaking because your well-being is on my heart. I am speaking because tomorrow carries weight, and tonight is for listening, not rushing. When I say do not brush this away, it is not a command meant to pressure you. It is an invitation meant to protect you. The world teaches you to ignore inner warnings, to push past pauses, to fill silence with movement. I teach you the opposite. I teach you that stillness can be strength and listening can be shelter. Comment, I know God is fighting for me right now if the battle feels too heavy to carry. Something important is coming, and your attention right now protects you not by making you anxious, but by making you aware. Awareness is not fear. Awareness is peace that is awake. Fear makes you run without direction. Awareness helps you remain steady where you are. I am not speaking in riddles to confuse you. I'm speaking plainly to awaken you. I want your heart engaged, not alarmed. I want your spirit listening, not tense. I want you grounded in trust, not spinning in questions. You do not need to search for hidden meanings right now. You do not need to imagine worst-case scenarios. All you need to do is listen carefully and remain open. There will be clarity. There will be direction. There will be calm. But first there must be attention. I am not far away while this happens. I am near, closer than you realize. When I say I need to talk to you, it is not because I lack words. It is because this moment matters enough that I want you to hear me clearly. Not through layers of distraction, not through half-focus, but directly heart to heart. There are times in life when staying is wiser than moving. Times when waiting is stronger than acting. Times when listening is more powerful than responding. This is one of those times. I'm preparing you quietly, gently, carefully. Let the urgency you feel guide you to stillness, not to panic. Let the seriousness you sense bring focus, not fear. Let my authority reassure you, not overwhelm you. I am in control. I am watching. I am present. You may not see what is coming yet, and you do not need to. You only need to trust the one who does see it. I speak now so you do not have to face tomorrow unanchored. I speak now so your heart is settled before movement arrives. I am not speaking to the world at large in this moment. I am speaking to you. I am calling your attention because you are seen, because you are known, because I am involved in the details of your life, including the timing of your days. Stay with me here. Let these words land. Let your breath slow. Let your heart quiet. You are not in trouble. You are not alone. You are being cared for. Stop. Listen carefully. Do not brush this away. Something important is coming, and this moment of listening is part of how I am protecting you. I need you to understand something before anything else settles in your mind. I am warning you because I love you. Warnings from me are never meant to frighten you. They are meant to protect you. They are never sent to create panic, but to create peace that is awake and steady. Fear shouts and rushes. Love prepares and steadies. What I am doing now comes from love. I do not wait until something breaks to speak. I do not wait until chaos arrives to reach for you. I speak before storms, not after. I speak while there is still time to listen calmly, to adjust gently, to respond with trust instead of regret. This is how heaven works. Heaven prepares hearts long before events arrive so that when they do, you are not shaken, not confused, not overwhelmed. You live in a world that reacts to everything at the last moment. Alarms sound after damage is done. Warnings are ignored until it is too late. But I do not live bound by time the way you do. I see the full path, not just the step you are standing on. I see what is approaching while you are still focused on today. And because I see, I speak. I need you ready, not afraid. Fear would tell you to imagine the worst. Fear would rush your thoughts forward and make you tense. Fear would fill your body with stress and your mind with endless questions. That is not what I bring. What I bring is awareness that is calm. It is clarity that grounds you instead of shaking you. Divine awareness does not steal your peace. It angers it. You may wonder why I don't explain everything right now. Why I don't give details. Why I don't name exactly what is coming. And the reason is simple. I do not want your understanding to run ahead of your trust. Some things are better understood after they pass. Some protection comes from obedience, not explanation. Understanding can come later. Trust must come now. I am not asking you to solve anything. I am asking you to listen. There is a difference between panic and preparation. Panic comes from feeling out of control. Preparation comes from trusting the one who is in control. Panic drains you before anything even happens. Preparation gives you strength before you need it. That is why I warn you gently. That is why I speak with calm urgency instead of fear. I am not pulling you into anxiety. I am drawing you into alignment. When I tell you something is coming, it is not meant to make you anxious about tomorrow. It is meant to change how you move today. Some responses are quiet. Some safety comes not from action but from pause. Some wisdom looks like staying instead of going. These things only make sense if your heart is prepared ahead of time. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness in your life and devotion to God. And if you want, you can donate to us via Super Thanks to show your support. I need you ready, not afraid. You have learned from the world that warnings mean danger is unavoidable. But with me, warnings mean danger can often be avoided or softened. Many outcomes in your life were shaped not by sudden action, but by small moments of listening. Times when you slowed down. Times when you stayed home instead of going out. Times when you waited instead of rushing. Times when you followed a sense you could not explain. You may not remember all of them, but I do. There were moments when you were delayed and thought it was inconvenience, but it protected you. Moments when plans changed and you felt frustrated, but it spared you. Moments when you felt a quiet hesitation and chose to listen, and later you realized something had been avoided. That was not luck. That was preparation. That was love guiding you before harm could reach you. I am doing the same now. I do not need you to understand everything to be safe. I need you willing to trust me enough to listen. Obedience does not mean blind fear. It means confident trust. It means believing that if I speak, there is reason. It means allowing my perspective to guide you even when your own cannot see ahead. I know your mind wants certainty. I know you want clear answers and timelines. But clarity does not always come first. Readiness does. There are moments when being still is the protection. Moments when staying grounded matters more than knowing details. Moments when obedience is an act of peace, not restriction. I am not trying to control you. I am covering you. Heaven has always prepared hearts before moments. I prepared Noah before the rain. I prepared Joseph before the famine. I prepared the disciples before the storm. Preparation did not always remove difficulty, but it removed panic. It grounded them in trust when others were shaken. I am preparing you now in the same way. What I am asking of you does not require fear. It requires attention. Fear narrows your vision. Attention widens it. Fear isolates you. Attention connects you to me. Fear drains your body. Attention steadies your breath. Everything about fear pulls you away from me. Everything about divine awareness pulls you closer. You do not need to cancel your peace to be prepared. You do not need to imagine threats to be wise. You only need to listen carefully and trust that my warnings are acts of care, not danger. I need you ready, not afraid. Ready means calm. Ready means aware. Ready means listening instead of rushing. Ready means not brushing off the nudge you feel inside. Ready means respecting the moment without dramatizing it. Ready means believing that I would not interrupt your life without good reason. Sometimes protection looks unremarkable. It looks like staying inside. It looks like resting. It looks like delaying plans. It looks like choosing stillness when everything in you wants to keep moving. These choices only make sense when you trust that I see what you cannot. I am not asking you to explain this to others. I am not asking you to defend it. I am asking you to listen and respond quietly. Some warnings are meant to be shared. Some are meant to be followed privately. This one is about you and me. You do not have to convince anyone. You do not have to understand everything. You do not have to be tense. Just be receptive. If you feel suspense right now, do not let it become fear. Let it become attentiveness. Let it sharpen your awareness without tightening your chest. Let it bring focus instead of worry. I am not saying these things because I want you looking over your shoulder. I am saying them because I want you looking to me. When you look to me, your heart remains steady even when circumstances change. You may notice that even as you read this, there is a calm under the urgency. That is intentional. Urgency from heaven does not rush the soul. It steadies it. It calls attention without alarm. It says listen without saying run. I speak before storms, not after. This means you do not need to be shaken when something changes. You have already been prepared. Your heart will recognize that this moment was part of the path, not a disruption. One day, you will look back and understand why this pause mattered, why listening mattered, why staying mattered. Understanding will come. But for now, trust is enough. I need you ready, not afraid. Stay grounded. Stay attentive. Stay calm. You are not in danger. You are being cared for. You are being prepared quietly, gently, and intentionally. And everything I do in advance is because I love you too much to leave you unprepared. There is something I want you to see now, something that has been present in your life for a long time even though you never connected it as a pattern. You often think my voice is rare, distant, or difficult to hear. You believe that guidance comes only in loud moments or dramatic signs. But the truth is softer and closer than that. I have been guiding you quietly for years, warning you gently before major changes, preparing you in ways you did not recognize at the time. You have heard my voice more than you realize. Think back to moments when you felt a sudden hesitation, a small inner pull that told you to slow down, to wait, or to change direction. At the time, you may have brushed it off as doubt or coincidence. But that was me. I was speaking in the only way that would reach you without overwhelming you. I was nudging your heart because something ahead required care. You did not see the danger, but I did. You did not understand the reason, but I did. And when you listened, even without knowing why, you were protected. There were times when you were ready to act quickly, convinced that moving fast was the right choice. Everything around you said yes, but something inside you whispered wait. That whisper was not fear. It was wisdom. It was me asking you to pause because timing mattered. You may have felt frustrated when things did not move as fast as you wanted. But later, when you looked back, you saw that delay spared you pain, loss, or regret. That was not chance. That was guidance. Remember moments when plans fell apart at the last minute and you felt disappointed or annoyed. You thought it was bad timing or bad luck. But I was quietly redirecting you. I was removing you from paths that would have harmed you emotionally, physically, or spiritually. I was guiding you away from places where your heart would have been wounded more deeply than it already was. You could not see what was removed because I did not allow it to touch you. Protection often looks like inconvenience until you see what it prevented. You have also lived through moments when you felt a strong pull to do something simple, something that did not make sense at the time. To stay home instead of going out. You leave early. To say no when you usually say yes. To take a different route. To change a small plan. You did not know why you did it. You only knew it felt right. That feeling was my presence guiding you. Those were moments where the unseen mattered more than the visible. Type God's plan is always greater if you've released your own plans into His hands. Sometimes the nudge was about people. You felt uneasy around someone but ignored it because they seemed kind or convincing. Later, you realized the connection would have damaged your peace or your identity. Other times, you felt drawn to someone without knowing why, and that connection became important for your growth. I was guiding you through those relationships, even when you thought you were choosing on your own. Your heart was responding to my voice even when your mind did not recognize it. There were seasons when everything slowed down in your life, and you felt like nothing was moving forward. You wondered why doors stayed closed and opportunities did not come. But those pauses were not punishment. They were preparation. I was teaching you patience. I was strengthening your character. I was protecting you from stepping into things before you were ready. Delay is often where growth happens quietly. And I was with you in every delayed season, shaping you gently. You have also experienced moments when sudden clarity came to you, a strong sense of knowing what to do even though circumstances were confusing. You thought it was intuition or instinct, but that clarity came because I speak through peace. When your heart suddenly settles and a decision feels clear without pressure, that is my voice. Confusion never comes from me. The calm certainty that arrives without force is how I guide you most often. I want you to notice something important. Every major turning point in your life was preceded by quiet guidance. Before relationships ended, before paths changed, before losses or gains reshaped your life, there was almost always a moment where something inside you shifted first. A thought lingered, a feeling stayed, a pause happened. You may not have recognized it as me then, but you are beginning to see now that it was not random. Even when you did not listen, I was still present. When you ignored a nudge and moved forward anyway, I did not abandon you. I stayed close. I softened the impact. I helped you recover. I redeemed what you could not undo. Guidance is not about perfection. It is about relationship. I speak, you learn, and together we move forward, even when lessons come the hard way. Think about the times you later said, I knew I shouldn't have done that, or something told me to wait. That knowing was not imagined. That voice did not come from nowhere. That was me, speaking in the way you could hear at that moment in your life. As you grow more attentive, that voice becomes easier to recognize. Trust builds. Fear fades. You learn to discern between anxious thoughts and calm guidance. There were also moments when you felt peace about something even when others questioned it. You could not explain why you felt sure. That peace was not coming from logic. It was coming from me. I often guide you through peace rather than pressure. Pressure demands. Peace invites. Pressure rushes. Peace steadies. When something is right, it settles your heart instead of disturbing it. I want you to understand this pattern so your trust can awaken. You are not suddenly being warned out of nowhere. This is how I have always worked in your life. Quiet preparation, gentle nudges, timely pauses, soft guidance. You have been responding to my voice for years, sometimes knowingly, sometimes without realizing it. When I say listen carefully now, it is not because this moment is unfamiliar. It is because you already know how my voice feels. You have felt it before. That calm awareness, a gentle sense of importance, that pause that asks you not to rush. This moment carries the same tone, the same presence, the same steadiness. I am simply asking you to recognize it more clearly this time. You may think guidance must always come with clear words or strong signs, but the truth is, I often guide you in ways that fit naturally within your life so you are not overwhelmed. I speak through conscience, through timing, through subtle awareness, through calm restraint. When you listen, you move safely. When you rush, you learn. Either way, I remain with you. I am showing you this pattern now because trust grows when you see consistency. You have not been guessing your way through life. You have been guided more than you understood. You have been cared for more deeply than you realized. My presence has never been occasional. It has been constant. This is why I can ask you to listen now with confidence. Not because you are suddenly expected to do something unfamiliar, but because you already know my voice. You have followed it before. You have benefited from it before. Your life carries the evidence. You did not survive by accident. You were not spared randomly. You were not protected without intention. I was there every time you were redirected. I was there every time you were delayed. I was there every time you felt a quiet pull that saved you from something you never fully saw. You have heard my voice more than you realize. And now, as I speak again, I want that recognition to settle into your heart. This is not fear calling you to stop. This is familiarity. This is the same guidance that has shaped your path before. The same care, the same presence, the same calm authority. Trust what feels steady. Trust what brings clarity instead of panic. Trust the voice that asks you to be still rather than rush. Trust the pause that feels protective, not restrictive. You are not being asked to leap into the unknown. You are being asked to do what you have already done before, many times, without even knowing it. Listen. Pause. Trust. Remain. I have guided you then. I am guiding you now. And I will continue to guide you forward, one gentle moment at a time. Something is happening right now, even as you read these words. It is not loud. It is not chaotic. It does not come crashing in with noise or force. It is quiet, steady, deliberate. It is a shift already in motion, and you are standing inside it. You may feel it as a subtle change in your awareness, a sense that something is different even though nothing around you looks unusual. That feeling is real. It is not your imagination. It is not anxiety. It is transition. I want you to understand this clearly. Transition does not announce itself the way chaos does. Chaos shakes everything at once. Transition moves beneath the surface, rearranging foundations before anything visible changes. Right now, I am doing work you cannot yet see. I am aligning things quietly. I am adjusting timing, softening paths, closing some openings and guarding others. None of this requires panic. It requires attentiveness. You live in a world that confuses movement with progress and noise with importance. When something begins to shift, people rush. They run ahead. They assume they must act quickly or be left behind. But hear me now. Movement around you does not mean movement is required from you. There are moments when stillness is the most obedient response. There are moments when remaining is wisdom. There are times when doing nothing outwardly is actually doing exactly what I ask. Right now, tomorrow is being shaped by how you listen today. Not by how fast you move. Not by how much you do. But by how willing you are to stay attentive to my voice. Obedience today creates clarity tomorrow. Trust now prepares peace later. I am connecting these moments carefully. What happens next is tied to how grounded you remain right now. I know that when you sense change, your mind wants to fill the space with guesses. You want details. You want timelines. You want reassurance through explanation. But explanation is not always what steadies the heart. Presence is. Awareness is. Staying with me is. This shift is not danger approaching. It is alignment unfolding. It is the kind of change that requires your heart to be steady rather than reactive. If you rush, you will miss the subtle guidance. If you panic, you will move when you are meant to remain. If you assume every shift demands action, you will override protection that comes through pause. I am not calling you into isolation. I am calling you into attentiveness. I am not withdrawing you from life. I am positioning you within it. This moment asks you to observe, not intervene. To listen, not rush. To trust that not every important moment requires your movement. You may notice the atmosphere around you feels slightly different. Conversations may feel heavier or quieter. People may seem unsettled without knowing why. Plans may feel less solid than usual. These are signs of transition, not threats. When foundations adjust, the surface feels unstable for a moment. But instability does not mean collapse. It means reordering. I want you to remain calm within this shift. Calm does not mean passive. Calm means aware without tension. Calm means alert without fear. Calm means you trust the one guiding you more than the noise surrounding you. This is why I am speaking now. Not because something is about to go wrong, but because something is being rearranged. And I want you steady while it happens. Tomorrow is connected to today's obedience in ways you cannot yet see. Obedience does not always look like action. Sometimes it looks like restraint. Sometimes it looks like staying put when everything around you suggests movement. The world glorifies motion. I value alignment. There are times when I ask people to move quickly. This is not one of those times. This is a moment for stillness that pays attention. Stillness does not mean sleep. It means awareness without rushing. It means listening without reacting. It means observing without interfering. I am doing work on your behalf right now that does not require your help, only your cooperation. Cooperation looks like staying calm, guarding your thoughts, refusing unnecessary fear, and remaining receptive to my guidance. It looks like not talking yourself out of the nudge you feel to pause. It looks like trusting that delay can be protection. You may feel tempted to fill this moment with activity, to distract yourself, to stay busy so you don't feel the suspense of not knowing. Resist that urge. Silence is not emptiness when I am in it. Silence is space for alignment. Space is where guidance becomes clear. I am not asking you to watch for signs everywhere or to read danger into ordinary things. Awareness does not mean hypervigilance. It means quiet attention. When awareness turns into fear, it stops being useful. I will not lead you through fear. I lead through peace that is awake. Movement around you does not mean movement is required from you. People may make choices you don't understand. Schedules may change. Conversations may shift. None of that requires immediate response from you. Wait for my direction. When movement is needed, you will know it without pressure. It will come with clarity, not confusion. Right now, your role is not to act but to remain aligned. Right, you are my hiding place, God, if He's your refuge and safe shelter, and share this video. You already know how my voice feels. You have felt it before. That calm awareness, a gentle sense of importance, that pause that asks you not to rush. This moment carries the same tone, the same presence, the same steadiness. I am simply asking you to recognize it more clearly this time. You may think guidance must always come with clear words or strong signs. But the truth is, I often guide you in ways that fit naturally within your life so you are not overwhelmed. I speak through conscience, through timing, through subtle awareness, through calm restraint. When you listen, you move safely. When you rush, you learn. Either way, I remain with you. I am showing you this pattern now because trust grows when you see consistency. You have not been guessing your way through life. You have been guided more than you understood. You have been cared for more deeply than you realized. My presence has never been occasional. It has been constant. This is why I can ask you to listen now with confidence. Not because you are suddenly expected to do something unfamiliar, but because you already know my voice. You have followed it before. You have benefited from it before. Your life carries the evidence.